Gosh, I wish YouTube would stop changing where the buttons are. What's going on, everybody? Oh, it's been a minute since I've done a Moonstream. This light situation is aggravating me. It'll be alright. That's kind of what I want to talk about with the new moon. Things that aggravate us, that trigger our aggressiveness. It's good to be aggressive. We need that. It's not really like aggressiveness. Yes, aggressiveness is like a connotation, but it's really about how we assert ourselves. Aries is where we need to assert ourselves, especially before we're ready to. So, I have Aries in the 10th house. It's what you're known for, what people see you do, if you Google it, it says like your work, your reputation, all these are 10th house things, but it's really like a culmination of the work that you've put in, because that's what people see. They don't ever see all the work that's being done. They see the end result, the product that's put out. We don't see how our food is made. We just see the plate that's put in front of us. So, yeah. I feel like I need to start discussing houses more and how these moons affect your houses, like how it's expressed, because the house is the behavioral expression of whatever that energy is. And it would be more helpful if I did that, right? So I was looking at this chart. I just started looking at it a few minutes ago. I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like we've got this situation going on. Let me pull up the chart. We've got a lot of stuff in Aries right now. Great, right? Just what we need. With all this conflict going on in the world, all this aggression people are feeling, all this pent up energy that just like maybe we want to fight somebody, or maybe we feel like somebody wants to fight us. Neptune and Saturn just moved into Aries from Pisces. Ugh. The other day, well, I guess it was probably a week or so ago now, I tried to do a video about how to deal with this Aries stuff, how to balance it with other energies in the zodiac using different aspects, and I had to stop because my puppies were going crazy. So I guess I can sort of tie, like I was going to do another video to finish that, but I can tie that into this because, fuck, that's a lot. That's a lot of Aries energy. So why not? About a year ago, well, a couple of years ago, I started working real intentionally with with my Mars, and a little bit with Jupiter, trying to tie it in. And it brought up all sorts of things and led to all sorts of places. But when I put that intention out there, be careful what you pray for kind of thing, I was like, I need to work on my Mars. I need to figure out where this block is when it comes to me being assertive, especially with Aries being in my 10th house. And like, my work is important to me, the thing that I'm trying to create, that I'm trying to build, and I need to be able to express that. And where is this block coming from? So what did God send me? To create a situation where I could work on that. A pack of dogs. not one dog, a pack. It started with one dog, and then she had puppies. So I had to become a pack leader. Caesar Milan is one of my favorite people in the world now. He talks about the energy, the dogs pick on your energy. That's my terrible impression of him. But he's right. He talks about this calm assertiveness, not a reactive aggression. You have to be the pack leader. You have to be in charge, and you have to convey that to a being that does not speak the same language. So it doesn't matter how much you yell and scream. They don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. They do pick up on your energy. So you have to be calm in order to convey, this is what I want you to do. This is what I need you to do. This is what we don't do. This is how we're going to act, When people are yelling and screaming at you, you don't want to hear that. You don't listen to that. When you feel threatened, you automatically get defensive. But if you want to take that Aries energy to its most creative expression, to its, what do people call it? Like, it's the highest expression or highest vibration, or whatever those trendy words are. If you want to have the most positive, creative, least destructive expression of Aries energy, you have to get yourself under control first. You have to be in this place where you can lead, where you can convey the message, because Aries is about leadership. It's about being the one that leads the way or leads the charge, right? The first one to do something. The new thing. And you can't do that if you can't get people to, if you're like putting people off. Aries is about your self, your self-assertion. So it's about you. It's not about like the thing you're upset with or trying to assert yourself over, or or any of those. I mean, it is, but those are more like, that's not the root of it. The root is yourself. I am. The situation you assert yourself in, or the thing that you assert yourself to, the person you are asserting yourself to, those are just like byproducts. That's circumstantial. This is the situation we happen to be in, where I have to do this thing, where I have to be assertive. But it's not about them. It's not about the situation. It's about you. Aries is opposite Libra. So when something triggers us, when it puts us in this Aries place where we feel the need to stand up for ourselves, or to fight for something, or to, you know, it just sort of triggers our fight or flight a little bit, where we find this need to act in whatever way, usually in defense of ourselves, or to protect, what, to like stake your claim, this is mine, stop encroaching on my territory. We are face to face with the other, which is what Libra represents. Um, people say like first house, seventh house, this yourself and your partner, or whatever. It's the thing that you're missing. If you want to get like more esoteric with it, a little more Gnostic, I guess. It's yourself that you know of, and then the other half of you that is more subconscious, like the two halves of yourself coming together, but you don't know that other half. You don't know that other thing, that other person, whatever it is that your aggression is directed toward out of reaction, because it's so radically different. It's not you. It's not yourself. It's this other thing outside of you. So your reaction is to, when you're triggered, your reaction is to attack that thing, or direct your aggressive energy toward that thing. And sometimes we need to do that. We very much need to do that. If somebody is threatening you physically, like they break into your house, or they're trying to rob you when you're out, or whatever, that's an appropriate situation to direct your energy at them. Okay? The key is, when you feel like you need to be aggressive with something, why? Why? Oh, like, always ask why. Why do I feel the need to assert myself in the situation, especially aggressively? Well, because they're threatening my life. Okay, that's valid. But there's a sometimes our triggers come from something that bothers us about ourselves, and this person has brought it to our attention because they've made our subconscious react. When your subconscious reacts, you have a physical bodily reaction, and you can't help that. Like when you have a panic attack, or if you've been through some sort of trauma and you have triggers, like big triggers. You can have little triggers too. Somebody can say something at work and you're ready to like snap at them. Why? What was it about what they said that bothered you that much? That's when you look at the self. So like with me personally, I feel like I need to start talking about more personal stuff, because it would make it make sense. I don't know. with Aries, here's an example of how this works, okay? With Aries being in my 10th house, it has to do with how the public, what I give to the public, okay? What the public sees from me. Opposite the 10th house is the 4th house, which is where you come from, your roots, the roots that you start life with, like your personal home life, and then also the roots that you create for yourself, like as an adult. This is the home life that I want to create for my kids or for whatever the rest of my life. You know, if you don't have kids, this is what this is my foundation. So that block with my own self assertion, I have to think what are the things that are triggering me? I have to look at those triggers, even if it seems like those triggers have nothing to do with my work, they do. So trying to map it out. Okay. I have an issue asserting myself with my work. Libra is in my 4th house. That's where the block is. What is it about 4th house stuff where I was blocked? A lot. A lot, actually. Because if you look at my Placidus chart, half of my Scorpio stuff is in the 4th house. Um, Gosh, I don't want to get this personal. Okay, so my self assertion, my Mars energy that I need to use in Aries spaces was damaged badly when I was a child. Um, you know how there are some cultures that I don't want to say cultures, like you've seen groups of people that admire a certain physical trait, like small feet or something. So when you're a kid, they'll like wrap your feet and make them to keep them small so they don't grow and get really big because, you know, small feet are attractive and that's what we want to do. How society shapes them to be this thing, right? And a lot of times what happens is that it ends up like your feet don't grow properly and they're malformed. Well, that's what happened with my Mars. So I didn't even know that I had that. I was told when I was a child that kids don't have emotions, right? Kids don't they don't get angry, they don't get sad because they're not capable of it. And I know that sounds so wild, but that's all I knew was what somebody was telling me. So that part of me was not just like suppressed, it was cut off completely. And I had to learn to express that. So I had a lot of triggers, I guess. And to sort of generalize them, I guess the thing that, like, because the dogs help me learn a lot about my triggers, they help me learn how to communicate better. In my Placidus chart, part of my Mars is actually in Libra in the 3rd house. It's the 4th whole sign house. But the 3rd house has to do with your voice and how you communicate back and forth. with the world, not just how you tell the world something, but how you communicate back and forth with the world. And I get triggered when I feel like um, I'm not getting my point across. It used to be like I feel like you're not listening, or I feel like you just don't get it, or I feel like you can't read my mind. Why can't you read my mind and just know what I'm thinking? Because I have no clue how to say it. So I would get mad at the other person for that. I would get mad, whoever the other person was, my significant other, somebody at work, just somebody at the store that was trying to help me when I was looking for something. So coming back to me, because this is where the block is, this is where you have to fix it. I have to learn to communicate what it is I'm trying to communicate. That's a me thing. I can't be mad at you, even though you're the one that's triggering it. Where's the root of that trigger coming from? I have to learn to express it. When it comes to like the fourth house foundational stuff, I have to create that space in myself where I feel safe from the world, where I know I'm good. Like this is my home space and you can't bother me here because I'm within these walls. Not like shut yourself off completely from the world, but a place where you can go to rest and rejuvenate yourself and like build your resilience, where you can create your solid foundation. That's not up to somebody else. But when I feel like somebody is crossing that line, stepping into that space, it's like, like I never liked to have roommates. I didn't have roommates. People be like, "Oh, we should move in." No, not even coworkers. We could work the same shift every day. I don't care. Nope, we're not. We're not carpooling. We're not like, this is my space. And I was very territorial when it came to my personal space. I still am, but I'm not as reactive about it when somebody crosses those boundaries. I'm able to express those boundaries and look at things a little more rationally. What is it about this that's bothering me? And is it a valid threat? Is it a valid concern? Am I mad because you moved my stuff? Like, why am I mad because you moved my stuff? Did you need to move it? Was it in your way? Like, what was going on? I'm not just going to be like, put it back, don't touch it. Because that's fucking crazy, right? Like, you can't be like that. Why do I feel that way? Why do I not want you touching it? That's what I'm talking about. With the Aries Libra thing, the other is what triggers the reaction from your Aries place, right? Once you figure out that trigger and like the root of it and you start working with that, then it sort of clears out so you can do what you need to do in your Aries house, wherever that may be. I will do something separate going through all the houses with that. Because it's actually a big part of my psychological work that I'm doing too, with um, just like looking at the zodiac through a psychological lens. Erik Erickson's theory of personal development. That's, man, that all starts with Aries. What are the questions? Is it safe for me to be me? Like, can I be me? Basically, is it okay for me to exist? Is the first. the first thing, and what an Aries question to ask, right? So I want to say that about Aries. It doesn't just have to be stuff like that. Like, what's another thing? Like, it's real easy to blame people when it comes to Aries stuff. When you're in an Aries space, it's real easy to blame other people for what's going on there and say, well, you need to stop doing this, or you need to start doing this, or you need to be like this. But what makes you think it has nothing to do with you? You know, like, I don't know. Like, I don't have health insurance. I used to be frustrated because I don't have health insurance. And when I was, because I'm not legally married, but I have a domestic partner and we've lived together for almost 15 years now. So I would go and try to get insurance on the website, healthcare.gov or whatever. And it would say, oh, well, you're not married and I don't have a lot of provable income. So you need to go, like, you don't make enough money to purchase a policy and you need to go to get like Medicare or Medicaid or whatever it is. But then they would say, well, what's the income for your whole household? And that would be too much to qualify. And it would say, well, you need to go back to healthcare.gov and purchase a policy. So I would do that and it would say, you know, it was like back and forth. I was playing with two sets of rules with those things and they canceled each other out. And at first I was like, well, fuck, I'm just going to be sick. This was like when my autoimmune stuff started flaring up really bad in the beginning. And I was like, what is going on? I just need to go to the doctor. It was really easy for me to be mad at, you know, the government or the system or whatever. But at the end of the day, what do I need to do to get to the doctor? Do I need to figure out a way to just pay out of pocket? Do I need to, like, it's about taking accountability and ownership and becoming the leader of your own life. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Like, if you really want it taken care of, what can you do about it? For yourself, not for like somebody else. Not say, you know, let me exert my will over someone else. No, what can you do to assert yourself in that situation to get what you need? Because that's what the Aries place is preparing us for. It's preparing us to be able to assert ourselves to get what we need to sustain ourselves, to create this homeostasis that happens in the Taurus place where you can, you know, rest and digest. You need to be able to go get your food. You need to assert yourself. And now we just go to the grocery store. But, you know, back in the day, you had to be able to go out and hunt your food or gather your food. I guess you could say, like, harvesting food from plants is like hunting with the plants instead of fighting the animals or fighting the plants. It's just not as, you know, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, there's a violent aspect to both, I guess, if you want to get technical about it, because you're yanking the berry off the bush. Anyway, sorry, my Mercury Sagittarius is going somewhere with that. Hey, I got somebody watching, yay. But that's what the Aries place is about. It's where can you where do you come into your power? Where can you assert yourself and have that calm confidence, that calm assertiveness that Caesar talks about, that just sort of you don't have to force it on anybody, because you know how you get people talking about, oh, I'm the boss and blah blah blah. If you have to say it, then you're not projecting it, so you're not really feeling it. Got to be a pack leader. That's what Aries is about. Where do you need to be a pack leader? Where do you need to just project this energy without having to explain yourself? Because when you're in those Aries spaces where you have to fight for something, or you have to stand up for yourself, you have to like stand your ground and say, nope, this is mine. You shouldn't have to explain why. And if you do have to explain why, like, first of all, the person that is coming at you, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to, in like a real life or death situation, they're not going to wait for you to explain why they can't be there and why this is yours. No, this is my house. Like, you're breaking in on me. That requires no explanation. That's kind of what we're going for with the whole Aries energy thing. Another thing about Aries, when it comes to balancing it, like, I don't like the Aries time of the year in the northern hemisphere, because it's springtime, and I mentioned this in the other video, but like, there's too much going on. The sun is getting brighter, like there's more light, or the daylight hours are longer and the nighttime hours are shorter, or they're getting shorter, and I don't like that decrease. I like the nighttime. All the plants are blooming and the bugs are going out everywhere. And it's just like, it's too much. It's too busy. I don't like it. It's not calm enough for me. I forgot what I was talking about that. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Okay. So sometimes when you're in this Aries space, you can get it creates this overwhelm, and you feel like you need to move, you need to do something, but you're kind of frozen because you don't know what to do, or you just don't know what to do with all this energy coming at you. The sign before and the sign after always tell you a lot about a space, right? So the sign before Aries is Pisces. And Aries is when we wake up. It's like the new day, the new dawn, the new beginning. So that's waking up. When you wake up, you get this little shot of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So they say, right? That's what they call it if you Google it. It's a stress hormone that makes your belly fat. But it's to make you more alert. It's to sort of trigger your sympathetic nervous system, so you become alert when you wake up, because you don't want to just like wake up and start the day asleep. That's not helpful. That's not the state of mind you need to be in. That's not what your body needs to be doing. Your body is awake, so it needs to be moving. It helps you start your day. Pisces is when we sleep. So it's like right before we wake up, this place of like dreams and surrealness, and it's our sleep state. It's like the dream state. So if you don't get good sleep, this is my point. If you don't get good sleep, if you don't get enough sleep, or a good enough quality of sleep for your brain to cycle through that, to have like, dreams and then go through the full sleep cycle, then you're not ready to move into that Aries space. You're not ready to wake up yet, because you haven't done this thing yet. Like, you have to get the sleep so you can wake up. You got to get that reset on your brain so you can handle the cortisol that's coming in and all that other stuff when you wake up. So you're ready to take on the day. As far as the sign after, Taurus, that's where we rest and digest, where we feel safe and secure, where we can just relax and be comfortable and connect with our animal instinct. What do I mean by that? Just like where you have what you need so you can just be, you can just exist without having to worry about everything going on around you, where you know it'll be okay because you have enough. So if you're in this Aries space and you're worried that you won't have what you need in the future, see, there's the whole past is Pisces, future is Taurus. If you're worried that you won't have what you need, that's going to make it harder to exist in the Aries place, because that's going to keep you, it takes away the flow. It keeps you trapped. You're not able to flow into the next space. You're not able to keep it moving. You're stuck here and you're worried about this. A lot of times we worry about, like, we replay things over in our head, things that have already happened, things we said, things we did, how it could have been done differently. And that keeps our mind in the past. And if we're worried about the future, what's going to happen, are we going to be okay, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, it keeps your mind in the future. Your mind is not in the present. And that's not helpful. I mean, I'm not saying like don't prepare yourself, but you have to be able to look at where you are right now and handle that situation. So if you're feeling this sort of anxiety or overwhelm, or, maybe you're feeling the opposite. Maybe like you just can't get started in the Aries energy space. Like you feel like you're supposed to be doing something, but you're just like dragging. Ask yourself, am I getting enough sleep? And then if you've got the overwhelm thing going on, ask yourself, do I feel okay about having what I need to take care of myself? Is there something going on where I feel like I'm not going to be comfortable? If you just think about those things, like whatever you come up with, it'll give you a lot of insight. And once you lay them out, once you name them, that brings them out of your subconscious into your regular consciousness, into your main brain, so you can think about them and you can piece them together. And what it does, when you pull something out of your subconscious like that, it takes away the trigger. It takes away the physical reaction you have to it, and you can start working on it because now you've named it. And that's a very powerful thing to do. It gives you power over something when you name it. I guess that's the end of that rant. So let's talk about some of these planets that we have going on. Now that I've gotten that craziness out of the way, I just feel like it needed to be said. Hopefully it's helpful. If you find those things helpful, let me know. If you know some things that are helpful for dealing with an Aries place, I would love to know them. And I'm sure like whoever is reading the comments would like to know them too. So please share. So with the new moon, we're looking at like a news cycle, and it's usually things that maybe we don't see yet. So again, with the triggers, like think of it as like a new beginning when it comes to like stepping into your power and taking accountability and asserting yourself in a healthy way, because Aries, it's a fire, right? It's how can you let your light shine? Like that's the main thing. Just I am, just be, just exist in whatever space, like whatever house Aries is in for you. Where do you need to just exist in that space? Just light your flickambicus. I'm reading the Dresden Files again because I haven't read the new book, and I have to go back and read like all of them before I read the new one. So it's like one continuous story because I'm weird like that. I don't like to stop reading and then pick it back up later. Where do you need to flickambicus is what he says when he lights his fire. where do you need to just do that? To just light your candle and without any explanation, without whatever, just turn the lights on. Your light. Start a new cycle with that. Because there are things about it that you don't see yet. Like you you can't know the benefits of it yet. These guys are just all clumped up right here. Saturn and Mars and Mercury and Neptune are just all like right here together within 5 degrees of each other. So sort of the first thing I feel from that is um like how snapping at somebody through communication can lead to a bigger problem. Either it gets pushed too far and you end up crossing a line you didn't mean to, or it shapes things moving forward. And Neptune brings in that element of like, am I even seeing this properly? Is this kind of, it's a perception thing. Um, is this just how it feels to me? Is this just how I'm seeing it? Is it's like be as objective as you can, because the reason you're snapping at somebody, or the reason like this Mars Mercury thing, this it doesn't just have to be like snapping through vocal communication. It could be anything. It could be like any interaction you have with somebody else that is too quick and aggressive can lead to a bigger problem than you think. And that might have just been the way you interpreted it. Like you reacted this way because you didn't, you weren't really seeing it for what it was. There was some illusion about it, which, back to triggers. Like it's not, I feel like you're doing this or you're doing that. But no, that's my own subconscious. Neptune is part of our subconscious. Like it's your own imagination playing tricks on you. Basically, don't let it. You can spin that in a positive way. And instead of letting it like do harm and be destructive, a creative way to use that is to let me think of how to word it. So with the whole Neptune Saturn thing I've been talking about for a while, that's sort of like what reality do you want to create? What do you want to bring forth? What do you want to manifest? There's another buzzword, because Saturn is the manifester. I know Saturn gets such a bad rep. Oh, it's the greater malefic. It's so restrictive and whatever. Saturn is what defines things. It's what gives them shape. Like, how do you know that this is a roll of tape? Because of this line and this line, these boundaries, the definition of it make it a roll of tape. That's the boundaries and the lines. When you're drawing something, what do? You draw lines, draw shapes, like you set the boundary, and that's what makes it whatever you're trying to draw. That's what your Saturn is for. Your Saturn is so you can create the things you want to create. You set those boundaries. You say this is this. You name it, right? You give it meaning, you give it definition. So Neptune and Saturn is like, what are you trying to define? What do you like? Use your imagination, go big. What do you think? And with Mercury and Mars, I feel like, God, what a great time to express that assertively, to communicate that in whatever way it is. It doesn't just have to be words, it could be some sort of art, it could be some sort of any action that conveys meaning. This could just be like, honestly, it could be like redecorating your space, because Mercury does help us express ourselves. Um, it's how we get the message across and how we receive the message. So, like, even the shirt that you put on conveys a message, and that's Mercury. So, yeah, I would say it depends on like what house it is, but because I'm trying to think of examples, and it's that's where it gets house specific, because that's where the behaviors, houses are like the behaviors that we express in different areas of our life. So if it's in your first house, if Aries is in your first house, this a great way to, let's just talk about that. Let's go around the zodiac and talk about healthy ways to express this energy that make us feel more autonomous and self-assertive. It might have to do with, in the first house, how the world sees you, or how, which also includes how you see the world, right? I see it like this, so I'm going to express myself like this. I'm going to look like this. I'm going to let the world see me like this. This is my presence, right? And I also think with Chiron, because I got to mention Chiron, I think whatever this is, it's going to be very healing. If it's in your second house, it might be um, how are you communicating your assertiveness when it comes to your security, your needs, your self worth, your resources. Maybe a bold move would be to buy a new house for you, or to move to the place that you want to move to. Um, to open that savings account that you've been hesitant about, or to close that savings account and invest the money somewhere else. Like, what action do you feel like you need to take? With the third house, what do you need to say? What do you need to, like, what conversation do you need to have with whoever, with the world? Like, listen to them, but what do you need to say with that? You initiate these things. Like, you initiate the conversation. This is what the Aries energy is like, where you have to be the one to do it, usually before you're ready to. We just have this great opportunity with all these planets here to do this thing, even if it's not easy. With the fourth house, like, what's something that would make you feel safer? What's something that would, maybe not just like safer in your home, but also emotionally, like what roots can you put down? What new traditions do you want to start with your family? Or just with yourself. Maybe you want to make it a tradition to once a month you decide to just go explore somewhere new. Like every month on the 3rd, you're going to go to a brand new place that you've never been to, and that's a tradition. 5th house. Ooh. It could be like a new vacation spot. 5th house is recreation and creation, self-expression through performance usually. Um, Maybe you want to try a new hobby, a new art thing. It also has to do with sex, so maybe you want to try a new date night routine, or I don't know. I'll let you guys decide that one. I'm not going to say anything with all my 5th house Scorpio stuff because I don't know any boundaries when it comes to that. 6th house would be like, how do you assert yourself and communicate this self assertion when it comes to your daily routine? Is there a new thing that you need to start or you'd like to start? Maybe you want to start exercising. Maybe, why don't I just think maybe you want to start teaching a new exercise class? That would be cool. That's very mercurial and very 6th house. If that's something you've been dreaming about, do it. 7th house, figure out a new way to connect with what you're missing. Whether it's, especially with either your significant other or your business partner. What's like a fun, assertive way that you can come together and like build a bridge? The God, where's it gonna go? That felt big. Like this is gonna set something in motion that is gonna be great. Like it's just gonna exponentially grow, and whatever energy you're putting into it, whether it's positive or negative, is gonna be magnified later on down the road for a long time. That's what it feels like. Whew, I'm feeling this Aries energy right now. It's just like fire, fire, fire. My thoughts. 8th house. What kind of transformative experience needs to take place, or can you make take place? And when I say transformative, it could be the 8th house and the 5th house are so similar because they both have to do with creation, but the 8th house is more like what you use your resources and your connections to create. You're like taking all these ingredients and transmuting them into something new. So what can you do there? Hang on. I want to say like a new version of yourself if you want to go like the psychoanalytical route with the 8th house. Or maybe transitioning to the next phase and using it to communicate, this is what I don't need anymore because this is what I want now. That one feels kind of deep. So, like maybe letting go of connections or resources that you don't need anymore to make room for the new ones. Ninth house. Whew, man, the possibilities are endless now. The ninth house is about seeking something meaningful. How do we, like, our search for meaning in life? How do you initiate that search for meaning in life? How do you go about that? How do you, the things that are, um, that you think are important, that are purposeful to you. Usually, a lot of it has to do with like your moral compass. Like this is, spiritual beliefs and that sort of thing. I feel like I need to be a doctor because I want to help with it. Like that's your moral compass telling you what you need to do because what do you have an issue with? Like you don't like it when people are sick, so that points you toward taking care of people. Um, you don't like to feel like we just are here and then there's nothing after we die. So maybe you want to go on like a, I don't know, go visit different spiritual places in the world, go to temples or whatever. 10th house. How can you create a space for your work to exist? And how do you communicate that space to other people? Just make the fucking video. It doesn't matter if the light's shining through the window and you look like you're coming out of a portal to heaven because it's just blindingly white over here. That's okay. Who gives a shit? Or just write the book or like just do the thing. That's what the Aries thing is pushing us toward. This Aries space is just do it. 11th house. Maybe start a new social group thing, or if you're already in a social group thing, speak up. Or maybe that's not your social group thing and you need to go do another one. Um, how can you how can you be like aspirational? What do you aspire other people to do? Is that the right word? Aspire, inspire. Uh, um, like your hopes and dreams, and when it comes to like what idea of something do you want to leave behind? What do you want to, when it comes to like who you are, what do you, almost like the ideal version of yourself, how can you put that into play? I'm not saying like a fake imperfect image of you, like a social media produced version, not like that, but when it comes to that realm of existence, what do you really want with that, and what can you create in that space? Yeah, like I said, just new social groups or new, something to do with society, with how the world sees you, or what the world expects from you, needs from you. Maybe some boundaries need to be set there. Maybe you're the person in all the social groups that like leads the game night, or you're the president of this group or that group, and you don't want to be, and you need to say, well, you know what, I need to step back. Sometimes that's a very leadership type thing to do. Like, I can't do this right now, so I'm not the best person for this role. That's still you being an example to somebody else, because you have the confidence to say where I'm going to work best is not in this role. And you take leadership of another role that's not like the head honcho. 12th house. 12th house is very much about what is like super buried in our subconscious. It's not just like what we're avoiding looking at, but it's what we don't even know is there. Um, it's about like mental health stuff. It's about like the astral realm. So if Aries is in your 12th house, I would say when you allow yourself to really let go and dream, what is it you dream about? How does that make you feel? Like, this is one of those places where you don't necessarily want to, you need time to yourself, to communicate with yourself, and to just sort of like sit with yourself and flow back and forth with yourself. I know that sounds weird, but when you're in that flow with yourself, or with the universe, or whatever you want to call it, like, what is it that you can shape there that will also affect you on like the physical realm level? What do you need to communicate with yourself when you're in that space? It's almost like talking directly to your unconscious mind. Anyways, yeah. So that's the Aries stuff. How long have I been doing this? I don't even know. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not looking at the clock. There are some planetary energies that are interacting with all of this Aries-ness that's going on. Pluto, I love Pluto, is sextiling these four guys right here: Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn. Pluto is reminding us that we need to, basically everything I talked about in the beginning about the triggers and the why, and doing the psychological work. It's saying, hey, don't forget about this. You have to make sure you're good in this space so you can do the thing in this space. And they're 60 degrees apart, so there's like an excited sort of working together energy. It's a little more intense. When I say excited, I mean like the intensity level is a little bit higher. Which can add to the feeling of anxiety or overwhelm, because like a lot of things might be coming up that you're asking yourself, is this, whatever the thing is that I'm trying to to do whatever way I'm trying to assert myself. Why do I feel the need to assert myself in this way? Or why am I resistant to asserting myself in this way? And it's probably got something to do with how you were conditioned. Like, my parents told me I didn't have emotions. That's an Aquarian thing. That's a form of social conditioning. Another thing I see a lot of is like, what is the group going to think about me if I say this or if I do this? What is my social circle going to think? What is, especially the labels that we put on ourselves, because Aquarius is all about like naming things and labels, and that gives them power. Like I said earlier, when you name something, it gives it power. So when you name yourself, when you label yourself, it gives that, that's a powerful thing, because you've made yourself this. Don't limit yourself to that. That's the flip side of Aquarius, right? It's about breaking through those limits. You are not just your identities. You are not just, because your identity, that's just what you identify with. Like, oh, we have that in common. That's what that means when you identify with something. This is something that we share in common. It doesn't mean that you are only this thing, because you are never only anything. And if somebody doesn't like that, then fuck them. They weren't really your people, right? Because your people would support you. It feels like Uranus and Taurus is because these guys are only 32 degrees apart. That's they're real close together. So these energies are like, Uranus might break something because Uranus likes to break things. I think of Uranus like a chiropractor. It's like crack, but it puts it back into place. Like it was out of place and it needed to be adjusted. It needed that crack. And it hurts, but oh, it feels so much better now. Um, with whatever the unconscious thing is or the subconscious thing that is going to help you like start this new cycle. This thing that's hidden from you right now that you'll probably really get a better picture of in about 6 months when the Aries full moon happens during Libra season. And Venus is kind of like creeping in. So Taurus like wants you to be comfortable, wants you to have what you need. So Uranus, whatever Uranus is cracking up, it's so you can, because Taurus is a powerful sign. It's like fixed earth. Come on now, Taurus, and the willpower and the workhorse and the, steady, blah, blah, blah. That's, it's going to help you become more powerful. It's going to help you not become more powerful. It's going to help you know how powerful you already are. Maybe you don't realize that part yet. It's going to help you become more comfortable in your power and more assertive with your power. Yeah, that's what it feels like with all this Aries Taurus stuff going on. Jupiter is squaring by sign. Jupiter is like, man, right in the middle. Okay, so Jupiter is at 17 degrees of Cancer, which is right smack dab in the middle of all of this Aries stuff. And I feel like that's where a lot of the tension is coming from. There's like a pull sort of situation happening. But here's the thing with squares. Sometimes, like, I think of a square like when you're arm wrestling. There's a challenge there because, your arms make like a square, a right angle, a square, we call it in astrology. Um, but also, if you're going to help somebody up, like if somebody's down and you're going to help them up, pull them up, you grab their arm like that, and you pull them up. It gives you leverage. I feel like you have a lot of leverage with a square. And you can work it to your advantage, but so the resistance that comes in is because there's you have to leverage it, or because they're pushing against each other. Just let it go. Fuck it. See what happens. That's where the challenge is. Being too much, being too big, being too bold. Jupiter is Santa Claus, by the way, or Santa Claus is Jupiter. Santa Claus is very Jupiterian, and when I think about because Jupiter is jovial, and the way Santa laughs, he doesn't give a fuck who hears him laughing. He's just laughing. He doesn't care if his belly is shaking like a bowl full of Jello. He doesn't care about any of that. He's just laughing because he's happy. He's not worried about what anybody else thinks about it. He's doing him. That's the sort of Jupiterian energy I feel like that's trying to come out. Knowing that you're going to be okay if you do that. That you're going to be that it's all going to be all right if you do that. It's not going to, even if something does come up, you've got your shell you can retreat in, you've got you're going to be okay. Nothing is going to hurt you. Why does it feel like that? Because it can't hurt you because you're okay. You can be okay with feeling the emotions that come up in the process of asserting yourself in whichever way you need to and communicating that assertion. That's what it feels like. You'll be able to deal with it emotionally. You'll be able to face it. Even if it's a little challenging, don't underestimate yourself. Leverage it. You got this. Yeah, that's okay. So that's what it feels like. That's what I have to say about the new moon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Like the video, share the video, all those YouTuber phrases that I need to say. It really does help. And it's encouraging for me when people, when people interact. So, Leif Erickson 663, thank you for joining. Thanks for saying hello. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything that I said you disagree with, let me know that. If you want to say, hey, I agree with this. Have you thought about this? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to say it. I'm totally down to have a conversation about it. If you want to work with me, I love to work one-on-one with people. So get with me about that. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.